Some of you have been wondering, since you saw this from the last paint video, why I have this on the side of my RV. I have a DOT number, and I also have a slightly different license plate than most people, and this license plate says apportioned. What does all that mean? Okay, so if you use your RV across state lines in the furtherance of a business, you are now a commercial vehicle. So you have to be very, very careful, and you have to be in line with about 5 different agencies. So I'm going to go through a couple different things that you have to do if you are using this as a commercial vehicle. First of all, do everything you can to not use your RV as a commercial vehicle because it is a pain in the neck. When I went to get this licensing, the people that helped me through it had never done a commercial vehicle as an RV in the state of Florida. Semis all the time, pickup trucks all the time, you know, F650, whatever. Those types of trucks all the time, never an RV. So I'm a little insane, I guess. But we use this in interstate commerce, intra and interstate commerce, so we need to be above par everywhere. First thing is we have to have the plates. The plates are called apportioned plates. Apportioned plates means that we are registered in every state in the United States. So I have paid basically a registration fee in every state. That's what apportioned basically means. So I had to get these plates. My registration fee for the plates yearly is a little over $600, which is about 6 times what it would normally be, but is what it is. There's the first way you get it. Once you get your apportioned plates, then you have to get a DOT number. A DOT number basically just tells the Department of Transportation who you are. They have cameras going down the road, and especially at way stations and everything, that read this number. This number has to be a certain size. It has to be on both sides of your commercial vehicle. And when you go by, the camera will pick up that number and transmit information to that weigh scale. Not all states require the GVWR to be stated as, you know, on the side, but some states do. So we just did it to be above par everywhere. And you have to have your official business name and where you're from. Sarasota, Florida. That's where we're at. So that's the next thing. Now, those are the first 2 things. Next, here's all the documents you have to carry with you all the time in case you get pulled over. You know, like if you get pulled over by an officer, they're like license and registration, right? Well, here's the booklet of documents you need to have. All right, here's a few of them that I've got to deal with all the time. First of all, these are called cab documents. With me all the time, I have to have this. This is my IFTA. This is tracking how much fuel I purchase, where I purchased it, how many miles I travel, in each state I travel, what my fuel mileage is, whole bunch of stuff, okay? So IFTA is the first document you have to have, and you have to be registered for IFTA. Here's my IFTA sticker, okay? So now we have the state registration, DOT number, IFTA, right? We're not done yet. Next. And here's this. Here's my cab card that has to be with us all the time, showing that we're registered in all the states. Next. Here's my title, just to prove that it is owned in a business entity. This is a key right here. You see this? I own this. I don't own this. The business owns this vehicle. I do not personally own it. One way you can possibly get around this whole thing is if you title the RV in your personal name. Then you're kind of gray area right there. Anybody would say if you get pulled over and you tell them that it's titled in your personal name, but you tell them you're using it in a furtherance of a business, you're done. You got a big problem. If you lie and say that, oh, you're just going on vacation somewhere, then, you know, they'll never know one way or the other. We want to be above board. I don't want to lie. So I will go through all of the hassle and all the expense to do this and be on the up and up. Okay. But one way around it would be if you're just using your RV leisurely and you happen to make money in a different state, I don't know how you could do that. Anyway, that's up to you guys. That's up to your morality. You figure that out. Here's the next thing. So we got our title. Next thing, we have an annual inspection report. This thing has to be inspected every year for everything. And if anything's bad, it has to be fixed in order to legally be on the road. So I've got that inspection report I've got to keep track of in case I get pulled over. And here's my inspection sticker saying that it's been inspected. Okay, so far so good. Next, we have, whoops, that's me. Here's to prove that I am registered for IFTA, okay, and that I have not stolen or taken this sticker off of any other truck. This proves that I have the correct numbers everywhere. Next, when you are a commercial driver, I have to have a CDL, which I do. I have to have an air brakes endorsement because this is a big enough RV to have air brakes. And I have to be registered as something called an owner-operator under something called a consortium. Owner-operators are like semi-drivers that own their own rigs, and they are for hire personally. They don't work for another company. The DOT requires a drug system for you to be in, a random drug testing program, which means you have to sign up with a company online that puts you in a pool of other drivers that will randomly drug test you. That's exactly what it is. They want to make sure, obviously, people on the road are not on drugs, which makes sense to me. So I'm cool with that. You go pee in a cup, they drug test you, you're good. However, you have to have these documents on you if you get pulled over. So this document proves that I'm a member of LabWorks USA, that I've gone through that I'm a member of it, and it, whoops, where's my other one? And it proves that I've peed in a cup. There you go. All of this information is listed on LabWorks USA website, and it's listed on FMCSA. There's your fourth government entity that you're dealing with and have to be registered with. Federal Motor Carriers Association, FMCSA. They will keep track of a lot of things like your DOT number, your drug stuff, all of that. And any accidents and everything you have to report on there, all of that. It's kind of like the one-stop shop for all your information. Next thing, here's number, what are we on, 5? Okay, next. This is called the UCR. UCR is the Unified Carrier Registration. Now, I have absolutely no idea why my 50-state registration for my apportioned plates doesn't count for this everywhere. Because obviously I'm registered in every state, right? So here's a second way to tell everybody that I am universally a carrier that have registered everywhere. Cost me $60. Don't know why, you just have to do it. So I did. Next. Here's my Progressive Auto policy, okay? You obviously have to carry insurance, but not only that, you also have to carry this. This is called the MCS 90, and it's in the back here. The MCS 90 proves to anybody that pulls you over, any state, that not only do you have insurance, which is here, but also that you have enough insurance. Why the first document doesn't suffice, I don't know. You just have to do it. So you have your insurance and you have the MCS 90 that prove that. Okay, so we got that. Next, yeah, this is no lie. I cannot believe this is insane. Next, what else do we have here? Oh, maybe that's it. Okay, so there is one more thing. We also have something called IRP. When we first started, I talked about IFTA, the International Fuel tax agreement. This basically is an agreement that says if I buy fuel in one state, I might buy it at 30 cents per gallon tax rate. But maybe the next state I drive through is a 70 cents per gallon tax rate. It'd be smart for me to just buy in this state and not have to pay in that state, right? Wrong, they get you. So what you do is if you buy fuel in this state and you drive through this state, you will have to pay an extra 30 cents a gallon tax that I would have to give to Florida, who would give it back to this state so that they can get their fuel tax revenue. Yeah, makes sense. So it's going to be tough to scam the system on that one. All right. IRP. What is IRP again? I can't remember what that stands for. Give me a second here. IRP. IFTA and IRP. Let's see here. What is IRP? Oh, yes. Okay, International Registration Plan. Now, isn't it funny how we have the title registration first, then we have the UCR, the Unified Carrier Registration, and now you have IRP. IRP is, let's just read it again here, called the, where did it go? Oh, yes, International Registration Plan. How many freaking times do you have to be registered? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm registered 3 different times, all everywhere. I don't understand. Now, I'm sure there's some reasonable government explanation, but I don't know that reasonable and government go together at the same time. This is nuts. However, I've got all my paperwork together, right? I'm totally good to go. All right, ready to get on the road. Nope. I just found out a few days ago. I have to go through something that's also called a DOT safety inspection. Now you think that's about your rig. Nope, it's not about your rig. It's about all this paperwork right here I just showed you. They want to be sure that all your paperwork's in order. If it's not, then you can get stopped, like literally on the side of the road or at a way station until you get the paperwork. So if you're on your way to a job, if I'm on my way to a school and I don't have a piece of paper, they're like, sorry, you're sitting here till you get it. What? So you better be sure you got all the paperwork in order. Funny thing is there is no one spot I have seen anywhere online, anywhere at FMCA, anywhere that says, oh, here's the list of absolutely everything you need. You have to kind of discover this or talk to guys that have been through it. Like, why is there no checklist that says, here's the 50 pieces of paper you need to do, get these things and you're done? I'm discovering this as I go along. And I am dumb. Like, maybe I missed something somewhere. Maybe it is written somewhere. I don't know it. But I have looked everywhere, and I'm still finding things that I need to have. So the safety inspection is my next thing I'm trying to figure out on this list. Wow. So using your RV as a commercial motor vehicle, a CMV, not advisable. However, if you are using it and you're making decent money with it, go through all the hassle, you'll be fine. I also have to stop at weigh stations. So I am basically a semi-truck. So I've got to pull into a weigh station. They're going to weigh me. I've got to make sure my axle weights are good. You know, if I'm over on my axle weights, I got a problem. My front axle is 12,700 pounds. If I'm 12,800 pounds, I've got to take 100 pounds off, or you get a really big ticket. That's not good. My fuel tank is a 200-gallon fuel tank, which 8 pounds per gallon, do the math. I can add 1,600 pounds to the front, depending on fuel. I have to run half full all the time at 100 gallons, or I'll make my front axle overweight. And that's with my storage bays basically empty. You know, there's hardly anything in them, hardly any weight. So that's something to be careful of. I've got an extra ton I can put on the back. My rear axle's 22.7. Yeah, 22.7. So I've got plenty of gross vehicle weight available. I won't go over it. But in terms of the front axle, that's my biggest concern right now. I have yet to go through a at-scale DOT inspection. I don't know what that would be about, but I'm doing everything I can to not get stopped and to have all my paperwork in order and all of that. So if that makes any sense to any of you, oh my goodness, don't use your RV as a commercial motor vehicle if you can avoid it. It's crazy. Okay, talk. Bye.